And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slow Motion Broadcasting for the XSLR lead here from Kokomo, Indiana at Kokomo Speedway. It's 410 sprint cars around this quarter-mile track. My name is Adam Thompson with Joshua Wilkie, who's also running the cameras and the production tonight. And Josh, we are going to be in for a show. I see 14 drivers registered after being told it will be about 7 to 8, but 14 drivers around this beautiful track based in Kokomo, Indiana, home of midget car racing. We are going to be in for quite a show here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we actually got a bit of a field in here tonight. Yeah, we were expecting maybe only a few drivers, but pleasantly surprised to have just over a dozen here and everything as well. So it should be a pretty good night here at Kokomo, I think, Adam.
Yeah, it very much will be, as we are, who are we watching there? We're watching Jason Grider try and just wheel himself through this track. And this is one of the more difficult tracks when it comes to dirt track racing. One of which, as we saw from the overhead view, you'll notice that the back stretch and the front stretch are completely different. The turns are different. And you're not flat out. You are not getting on that throttle through the corners nearly as much as we saw in the first 2 weeks at Knoxville and USA International. As we are in qualifying here at Kokomo Speedway, Tyler Brown currently quick time with a 10.9 here tonight. So he is the fastest lap time. Right now, our points leader, Adam Thompson, he's only 11.3. Why is this track so difficult? Well, it gets rubbered in quite quickly. And when you get a lot of cars on it, it's a lot of sliding around. You have to take the corners at a different angle. As we are watching Andy Kosick, he gets a little out of shape and gets her planted, but just can't keep her straight to the corner as he goes third quick with 11.275. Jake Ham now on his lap here. He is trying to find a way. He's had some problems in qualifying as well, but you can just see this is a quarter-mile track. Now, the last time 410 sprint cars actually raced at Kokomo Speedway in real life in a professional series was the High Limit Sprint Car Series last summer. And yes, it was kind of entertaining, but definitely a little bit of carnage as well. And the reason is because of just how small this track truly is. And we're going to just see a lot. I think a lot of guys really struggle here tonight. Just because of how small the track is, it's going to be very, very challenging. You can see the front, this is the front straight, where Jake Ham is going through. And that, again, is much shorter than the back straight. The back straight, a little bit more curved on the back straight. You can see that little bit of an angle on it, and it's a lot longer. You can get a lot more speed, but then you got to slow her down to get the corner entry just right. And right now, Jake Ham actually putting on a masterclass here. That's the exact line you want to be running, but it's hard to do that around some cars. So qualifying all said and done here, as Tyler Brown is our pole position. We're going to get ready for some heat racing action here tonight. I would assume we're doing 2 heats tonight. Your first heat looks like this on the pole position, the 821 of Tyler Brown, Andy Kosick in the number 50, row 2, Adam Thompson in the 244, and Jake Ham in the number 85. Row number 3, the final full row we have in heat race number 1. Of Kevin Irwin and Jason Greider, and then Joshua Sushi gets the final 7th spot in the number 29. So that is your lineup for heat race number 1 here. Of course, Adam Thompson finished 2nd a couple of weeks ago at USA International, but he's still leading the points here. We'll talk about the points a little bit later in tonight's broadcast. Pace truck moving away along with the field. He'll get 2 laps. And that's really about it. Now, tonight is going to be one of those nights you want to be, if you are new to sprint car racing, we may see some people adjust that wing tonight, because as this track gets rubbered in and gets a little bit more slick and everything, you want to get that wing back and get that grip on the rear tire of the rear right tire, especially because you can run multiple different lines here, and 2 pace laps are going to go quite quick here when the pace truck will be cutting off here in just a moment. There it goes, field lined up. They're going to go green here. Here they come out of turns 3 and 4. Green flag, and away we go here as Tyler Brown will take the lead right into turn number 1, side by side for the 2nd spot with Andy Kosick. He takes that high side, maintains that 2nd spot, but here comes Ethan Orr. Excuse me, not Ethan Orr. That's Jake Ham.
Oh,
and we
that's
got
Thompson upside down.
Turns 1 and 2. And who was that? Was that Adam? That was Adam Thompson.
Yeah, I believe that was Adam Thompson. He did enough meows in. He backed her into the wall there. Not looking too good for Adam Thompson right off the bat there at all.
Right off the bat here. And here we go. Now, looking further back, Jake Ham gets into the 3rd spot. Remember, the top 2 will go into tonight's A feature. Everybody else to the B feature. Now Jake Ham in 3rd. He wants to track down Andy Kosick, but Tyler Brown extending that lead by 1.23 seconds. And there's that was not Adam, but well, he did get a meow in on tonight's broadcast. But there's Andy Kosick in 2nd. He is holding on to just where did Jake Ham go? There he is, about a 2-second gap between him and the 3rd place, and that's not where you want to be. And you can tell white flag is out one more time around here for the 821 of Tyler Brown. He goes down the back straight. You can see he is just holding on to that high side. He's got someone in front of him. Oh, he barely misses him, but he comes across the line and will be be the first transfer of tonight. A main. Oh, that was close for him. That was a code brown moment, and I'm not talking about the dirt.
That was a pretty good collision avoidance there for sure. Not something you're usually going to have to do in these cars, I would imagine, to get on the left and rights that quickly, but he was able to get around it, so pretty good there. Last corner of the last lap, too. That could have been terrible.
That could have been absolutely awful, and Andy Kosig is our second transfer from heat number 1. Everybody else to the B main. Now, let's get ready for heat race number 2 here. Your front row, the 222 of Ethan Orr on the pole position. The number 20 of Trenton Kramer in second on his outside. Row number 3, starting third, the number 8 of Mike Braun. And on the outside, the 160 of Jason Green. Row number 3, Derek Folk, and in the 78. And on his outside, the 28 of Chad Gross. And the 37 of Jimmy Howitt will be our final starter here. And yep, 2 heat races. That'll be our 14 drivers here taking part. Now, some cars did do some laps on it. I will let everybody at home who is watching this broadcast tonight, we will reset the track conditions for the main, but the main again is gonna get slick pretty quick on a small track like this, and who knows what kind of shenanigans will ensue here at Kokomo Speedway, again located in Kokomo, Indiana, not too far away from Indianapolis. You'll notice guys like Jeff Gordon, Kyle Larson, many professional race car drivers have raced here in a midget car, but hardly in a 410 sprint car. Pace car is off, and we are going green here, and Ethan Orr wants to go. He wasn't able to get I think he was trying to get the throttle down, but just couldn't keep that car under control here side by side for the race lead through turns 1 and 2. Trenton Kramer has just a nose out in front. Here they come through 3 and 4. Trenton Kramer is your race leader here on lap number 1. Lap 2, it's still Trenton Kramer, but he's got Ethan Orr on his inside, but he's holding on to that outside line. Down the back straight they go, and you can see he's just holding on to that cushion. That's actually the best part of the track to run in this current track state. It's when it gets really slick, you want to take that inside line. That's when the inside line becomes faster. And Trenton Kramer now taking off here. He is 1.3 seconds ahead of Ethan Orr. And Mike Braun now, he is trying to close the gap. He's only 4/10 behind, really a half a second. But you can see a little bit of action behind Braun there with Jimmy Howitt, who's now in to the 5th spot. Again, top 2 go to the A main, everybody else to the B feature, and that will be the most cars we'll see out on track. And again, everybody will make the A from the B. It's just more where are you gonna start? Darren Folk trying to wheel that thing in. Now we got white flag one more time around for Trenton Kramer, who has a massive lead of almost 1 second here. And he is just having to keep calm, cool, and collected. But you can see in the road racing world, you'll see a lot of oversteer. But Trenton Kramer is the heat race number 2 winner. Ethan Orr in second, Jason Green in third. And Trenton Kramer doing his best Kyle Larson at the Chili Bowl and the Tulsa Shootout impression by trying to ride that wall. And that will bring an end to heat racing action. Now, guess what? We get ready for the B feature here tonight, the B main, and let's take a look at that lineup. Jake Ham and Jason Green on the front row, Joshua Sushi and Mike Braun, row 2. Row 3, Kevin Irwin, Jimmy Howitt. Row number 4, Jason Greider and Chad Gross. And your final row, Adam Thompson, who wrecked in the heat race, and Derek Folk. So that is your 10-car lineup. I think we don't. Is that everybody there, Josh?
I believe that's everybody for this round. Yep.
Yeah, that is everybody. So 10 cars. It'll be 10 laps, and 10 laps. Yes, it will go quickly here, but anything could happen at Kokomo. I can see Adam Thompson
Shocking to
driving
me
through
how
the
small
field. I
this
think
place really is. It's tiny, tiny little place. Just looking at it from the blimp cam here, it's just a tiny place. I can't imagine a 410 sprint car ripping around here in real life. It must just be wild to see.
After this race, look up High Limit Racing at Kokomo, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This place it's not built for sprint car racing anymore, for a 410 sprint car, but the High Limit series somehow made it happen. But it is definitely not one of those places that you will see regularly on a professional sprint car tours calendar, just due to the fact it is a quarter mile, not super banked in the corners, which makes it a little bit more tricky. It gets real slick. It's that Midwest dirt, which rubber likes to go in. Pace car is pulled up into the infield, field through turns 3 and 4. Jake Ham on the pole, and we are green for Jake Ham, and he gets a great launch off the green flag there. Takes the immediate race lead and wants to get to that high sign as everybody else behind. And who is that falling backwards all the way down to last place? That is Mike Braun. Mike Braun had an issue or had some sort of contact, and he went down to the back of the pack, and someone else as well into the infield here, as that, I think that was Jason Greider. Jason Greider is now a lap down, but now everybody else trying to get strung out. Someone else as well further back had a slight issue getting off the corner. You can tell the track is getting a little bit slick, but now everybody riding that top side, realizing that, hey, you have a little bit of a safety net up there, but you have to be careful because the front straight, that wall kicks out, and you have to kind of do some avoidance driving down the front straight, as we are riding with Jimmy Howitt in second, trying to get up to the race leader of Jake Ham. He is about 0.8 of a second back, but he is running faster lap times further back. Jason Green going to battle here with Adam Thompson. Adam Thompson side by side and in contact, and Adam Thompson gets sideways. And there he goes. He finally gets it under control, pops a little bit of a wheelie, and then a second contact. There, a third contact. Oh man, what has happened here? Oh, a massive chain of reaction of events. And right now, everybody's just going, oh my Lord, just get me to the end of this race. Jake Ham is your race leader. He has lapped over half the field. He has lapped up to 4th place. And all he has to do is just keep her straight. White flag one more time around here, and somebody's riding the wall.
Up against the
Oh
wall.
my gosh, what is
There's
happening
just pylons out there. It looks like a bit of a landmine field for him here to make it around. Surprising that he's able to navigate, as it looks like somebody's lost their wing rolling in front of him there. There's sparks everywhere and dirt, and Jake Ham's going to take the win in the consolidation here. Just barely, though, with all those accidents around him. Just wild stuff.
So Jake Ham is the winner of the B feature. He will start in the 5th position here. Jimmy Howitt made it through. Jason Green and Adam Thompson were all on your lead lap. Everybody else did not make it to the checkered flag.
Just didn't make it to the flag.
So, oh my. Well, we are here at our warm-up here. Everybody gets 3 minutes. And Josh, do we have points?
We do, actually. Yes. Let's have a quick look at our points breakdown here. And this would be after round 2, so leading into round 3 here. You can go ahead.
All right, so Adam Thompson, like I mentioned earlier, is your points leader by 2 points over Jake Ham, who's on 66 points. Jason Green in 3rd, Jimmy Howitt in the 4th spot right now, Andy Kosick in 5th, Michelle Lynn in 6th, Ethan Orr in 7th, Stevie Ray, who is not here tonight, in that 8th spot, Kevin Irwin in 9th, Jim Brewster in 10th, Brad Cathcart, Jason Greider, Robert Gilbert, Derek Folk, Joshua Shushi, Trenton Kramer, and John Corin round out the rest of the point scores here so far. But what's really interesting, you have Jason Greider here, Derek Folk, Joshua Sushi, Trenton Kramer, who won heat race number 1, are all here tonight. So they are definitely going to be banging on some points here tonight. So let's talk a little bit about the track state. So again, we mentioned it is reset in real life. That's pretty much just doing a whole reprep. But this is a 30-lap race. This track is going to get slick, especially with everybody riding that top side. That cushion is just going to get blown right off. It happens in midget car racing. It happens in micro racing. Every time here, they all run the top side, and within about a matter of 6 laps, that cushion is gone. And then you have to find the line. Now, where's the best line after that? Well, you got to be looking at that bottom line. And that is very difficult to get around because you have to get off the throttle very early just to get the car to pitch and get the car to rotate through the corner. Now, if I'm these drivers, I'm thinking about what do I do with that top wing. About 7 to 8 laps in, you're going to be wanting to roll that back at least 1 or 2 clicks about every 2 to 3 laps because you want that grip to get to the rear right tire and you want to be able to keep on that low side. If you don't, you're going to get really tight and you're going to slide up the track. So that is some analysis there. As somebody who has raced here in Kokomo, in iRacing, in a 410 sprint car, that is my word of advice to these drivers. Be prepared to use that wing. Don't overdo it early either. You want to stay in this race. You got 30 laps. It's going to be a lot of cautions. You know, got to maintain composure here. And Josh, I think you're going to have your hands full tonight with the amount of camera cuts and replays we're going to have to go through just to keep up with the action.
You know, it's looking like this place is so small. I think I could probably handle it with 1 camera fairly easily. But you know what? We're going to be jumping around quite a bit here because I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit carnage out there, Adam. After that that last sesh there was, well, it was interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how we get around 30 laps here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the feature lineup here at XSLR. Your front row looks like this. Tyler Brown in the 821 on the pole position, and Trenton Kramer, the number 20 in P2. Second row, the number 50 of Andy Kosick and Ethan Orr. Row number 3, Jake Ham in the 85 and the 37 of Jimmy Howitt. Row number 4, Jason Green in the 160 and the 244 of Adam Thompson. Row number 5, the 78 of Derek Folk and the 28 of Chad Gross. Row 6, the number 7 of Kevin Irwin and the 29 of Joshua Sushi. And our final row tonight is going to be Mike Braun and Jason Greider. Greider in the 552 machine and Mike Braun in the number 8 machine. So that is your starting lineup of the A feature, 30 laps around Kokomo Speedway. And we just got a message from Adam Thompson that said, get ready for some caution. So
we shall see how many laps we can get around here. Hopefully we can get some under our belt before we get too crazy, and we're not doing a caution every second lap here, but we shall see how it goes.
In chat, what's the over-under for the amount of cautions we get here tonight? Over-under of 5. How about that? Believe it's over 5 or under 5. Field out of turns 3 and 4. Green flag, and away we go. Tyler Brown, great start off the line here. But he's got some company with Trenton Kramer, side-by-side action for that 3rd spot. It's Jake Ham, who just has a nose out in front on that low side. He's going to try and slide up the track now. 3 wide. Coming out of turn number 4. I can't tell. It's Adam Thompson in the middle of that sandwich with, I think, Ethan Orr and Jimmy Howitt. And now contact with the 160. And now 3 cars involved, 4 cars involved.
And that'll be our
and
first
Adam
caution
Thompson
for the night, I believe.
Yes, it will be. Our first caution comes at lap number 3 here. And Adam Thompson involved. Who else was involved? Jason Green was going down the inside. And I think he just slid up the track. No, Adam Thompson actually came down, and Jason Green trying to go lower. You can't really go that low on this track. And then collected the 29 of Joshua Sushi and Mike Braun. So an unfortunate series of events, but luckily these guys got 2 quick repairs. Just get into the pits, get your repairs, get back out there on track. Now, I should have asked this at the before we started the broadcast. Are we doing single file restarts, or are we still doing the double file restarts? Because I feel like the single file restarts are going to have to come in handy at a track like this. But if we are doing double file restarts, it looks like we are doing double file here.
Looks like we're going double file by the looks of it. Yeah, I think it does single out eventually, if I remember correctly, but I believe it starts with double files. Yeah, I believe that's the way it goes.
Last 10 laps are always single file. So
right, okay.
Here we go.
I'm learning.
Tyler Brown takes the green flag, and back to racing we go. That is Cossack getting a nice slide job on Jake Ham to take that third spot away. Now here comes Ethan Orr trying to get down to that low side. Looking here further back, you can see some action happening behind. Adam Thompson moves up into the 6th spot, then loses immediately to Jimmy Howitt. Howitt on the high side in that yellow car, and now everybody just figuring out what to do here. Because again, now we're in that territory. Hey, is that top side going to be quick here for the next few laps? It's not going to be. And oh, somebody sent it to the wall. Adam Thompson just sent Derek Folk into the Shadow Realm there. And the Shadow Realm was met with a concrete wall, but no caution. We stayed green here. Tyler Brown still out in front, but he only has a 2-second gap here. Trenton Kramer trying to chase that down. Andy Cossack, though, only a half a second from Trenton Kramer. And if we could show the gaps real quick, just so everybody at home could see what is happening with this race. There we go. So about a 2-second gap between first and second place, and we have a caution out on the speedway. And who is that?
Looks like we might have Derek Folk, Mike Braun, Jason Grider look like they have gotten involved in something. May have taken even a couple other people with them here, but let's see if we can't get a replay. Looks like Jason Grider's going to be kicking this one off.
Well, let's follow along here with Grider. Grider holding on that low side and spins her around, gets through the infield, has to avoid the victory lane ramp. Gets going again, and no,
like
that wasn't
was able to gather it up there. So let's see if we can't go back a little bit here. See if we can't find out exactly who might have done that. We got a green flag, yellow flag. So maybe Derek. Let's have a quick look here.
Derek Folk in the 78 machine got over the cushion here, but gets a good run off the corner here. Tries to dive her down deep, and takes out Mike Braun. Well, there's the reason for the caution. Just a little deep going into the corner. Had a great run, and we are back to racing. Tyler Brown again out to the race lead. He has Trenton Kramer for company here, and now here comes Jake Ham going for that third spot on Andy Cossack. Slides up the track here, and actually Cossack has the issue getting off corner exit and not lost just one but 2 spots here. Makes slight contact here. Now 3, 4.
We got a roll.
One over.
That's Irwin.
Kevin Irwin. Oh no.
That'll bring us to a caution for sure. We lost a wing there. Cheese car gone.
Not the cheese car.
There was one car that didn't need it to end up upside down. That is the one. Let's see if we can't get a replay here of exactly what happened, but looks like maybe just got a bit loose, somebody in front of him there, and wasn't able to gather it up in time to avoid it.
Well, there was contact with Cossack somewhere. It happened right here in front of him. Cossack goes low below the 28 of Chad Gross, and then just tried to split the dice, and that's not going to work on a track like this.
Well,
you can do that at a track like, you can do that at a track like Bristol, because generally the seas will part, or a track like Eldora, where it's a little bit more banked. But on a track like this, nope, not going to happen. So
not a whole lot of room out there to make moves, for sure. It's a tiny little spot. Looks like we're about to go green here again.
We are going to go green this time. Tyler Brown still your race leader. Here they come out of turns 3 and 4. Green flag, and away we go once again. Tyler Brown out in front, but here comes Jake Ham. He's going for that second spot. Jake Ham, he slides up in the second. He's holding on to it for just a moment. He's trying to go for the lead. Side by side, gets a tire in there, but then has to back out of it. That low line. But now Tyler Brown loses his top wing up on the high side. No, high racing damage. He got it back. But Jake Ham's not going anywhere, trying to stay on that low side. Then we have a caution.
We do have a yellow. Not sure exactly what brought that yellow out. Let's go a little bit of discovery here, and it looks like we might have Andy Cossack, perhaps Derek here again. Let's have a quick peek.
So Volk on the high side, Cossack tried to slide up, and then boy, Volk just sent it.
I'm not sure that was ever going to work out. We'll go on board with him here. He just target acquired there, I think, and just center punched him.
Yeah, he just went for it, and
oof. Yeah, that was never going to work.
Can't make that move. He was going way too quick into that corner, and that was never going to work out. And because
definitely got hooked up, though. Real good hook up there. It seems like you're just struggling out there with kind of hooking up 1 minute and then not, and you can really tell. It looks like how I'd be driving out there, I think, tonight as well. Just trying to figure it out. Not an easy track.
It's not an easy track to find that balance, and we are back to a double file restart. We are going to go green once again. We are not even to the halfway point here. Green flag, and away we go. Tyler Brown back out in front, but he's got company of Jake Ham, who was looking really strong there in those last couple of laps, battling for the race lead. Jake Ham goes low, side by side. Here they come across the line. It's still going to be Tyler Brown out in front, but Jake Ham, he gets the lead, but he gets out of shape, and he loses the second spot and may lose the third position behind him to Ethan Orr. Gets it recollected. We'll get back to that high side, try and find that momentum once again, but he gets out of shape again. Now Ethan Orr right on that back bumper. He's sniffing the rear end there. Ethan Orr, he is trying everything to get around Jake Ham now. He can sniff a podium here. Jake Ham goes low. He realized he was a little bit quicker through that low side, but again, just can't keep it quite balanced on the low side of the track.
Looks hard down there for sure. It looks very hard down there. Can't seem to keep that line, but it's actually working out for him. Interesting stuff.
It is. And again, like I mentioned earlier, now you're going to see guys having to decide which line to go. And Ethan Orr gets passed by Jason Green in the 160 on the low side. Now, I would not be surprised at all if we see a lot of these guys start to use that low side now that two guys have made some moves here going forward. Now, Tyler Brown's lead is at 1.2 seconds here. He is going to approach lap traffic, and this is when it gets fun. Lap traffic at Kokomo is not the easiest to get through because there's really one way you got to go, and that's the high side. You got to keep that lap traffic on your low side if you want to get by quickly here. Now Trenton Kramer, excuse me, that wasn't Kramer. Now Jake Ham, now he's on the low side here. He's got lap traffic right in front of him. Gets a little bit held up, slid up the track, popped a wheelie, gets her back on the ground. You can see everybody's actually finding these lines much more difficult to find, but you can see that drier dirt on the low side. The high side, that's nothing but rubber now. The cushion's blown off. You cannot run that cushion and get good lap times at this point. And then we have a caution. I bet it's Andy Cossack.
That was a pretty good rally that time. I think we got quite a few laps there. It looks like Orr and Cossack. Yeah, let's see if we can't go back and a little peek here at what might have happened. Looks like maybe Orr's going to kick this one off. Orr
trying to get by, looks like Adam Thompson, and makes like contact, goes around, and Cossack also stopped as well. And that will be our caution there. So this is going to get really interesting. Now it's going to be a single file restart. From this point forward, we have 5 or 6 laps to go, lap 25 of 30. And to be honest, this actually has gone by quite quickly here, Josh, compared to the last 2 weeks where we were almost an hour into the broadcast before we really got our feature going here. So, but Trenton Kramer, your race leader, Jake Ham second. Excuse me, Tyler Brown, your race leader, Jake Ham second, Trenton Kramer in third. Jason Green in fourth and Adam Thompson in fifth. Pace car pulled off here And we are going to go back to racing here. Green flag, and here we go. Oh, never mind. I thought the pace car pulled up. What are they doing?
That did look like a bit of a false start there. It looks like Tyler Brown actually thought maybe that was the start too, and he gunned it quickly, or perhaps that was Jake Ham, but we are not quite green yet. Still waiting, and there we go, green.
Now we're green. They weren't close enough to the pace truck, which happens, but here we go. Tyler Brown still leading here. He has led since the drop of the green flag at the beginning of this race now, but Jake Ham is there. He's going to dive it down into 1 and 2. Can he get a good run out of the corner? Yes, he can. He's side by side. Can he get a full car length? Yes, he can. He slides up the track here, and Jake Ham leads here at Kokomo with just 3 laps to go. Jake Ham takes the lead, and now Tyler Brown's trying to figure out where he's got to go. Tyler Brown down to the low side, trying to follow Jake Ham. Jake Ham's actually doing exactly what you need to do. Tyler Brown into the wall. He loses more time here. Jake Ham will take the white flag here. One more time around here at Kokomo as Tyler Brown is just trying to find the fastest way by, and it's not going to happen. Jake Ham will go back to back here at XSLR and win here at Kokomo.
That was a great win and a really good rally there at the end as well. We got a bunch of clean driving out there. Looks like people are improving. This really difficult track, I think, maybe has actually sort of calmed everyone down a little bit. They had to get out there. They really had to dig into their wheel and pedals there and make sure that they were wheeling that car around to make it. And it looks like it's paid off today.
It really did. And Jake Ham, how about that? Goes back-to-back wins here at XSLR, Josh, and that's huge. Last week the last race we had 2 weeks ago, it was his birthday. It was his birthday 2 weeks ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was 40th birthday, I believe.
Yep. And tonight he will spend another night in Victory Lane, and he is up there on the Victory Lane ramp, where many drivers like Kyle Larson, Jeff Gordon, and company have been. Oh, yep, all pile in. Yep.
And that's how we always do it around here for sure. Got to have a little bit of fun at the end of the race.
Now it's just demo derby. But the fireworks are going off for Jake Ham tonight, and that should propel him to the points lead. That would be insane if that puts him up into the points lead, because there's only a 2-point difference, and Adam Thompson, not a great night tonight, finishing 5th. And Jake Ham is actually our biggest mover of the race, the hard charger as we would call it in the dirt racing world. He moved up 4 spots. He started in 5th, and he made his way all the way up into 1st and is our race winner tonight. And we'll get him all in for interviews here, since we got some time here tonight, Josh. Oh my.
That one went by a little quicker than usual here. So yeah, we'll get some interviews in, and maybe we can wrap her up there, but see how many interviews we can get. It looks like we got Trenton Kramer and Jake Ham hanging out in the interview waiting area here. If you want to pull one of them in, we can see what they're up to.
Yeah, let's talk to our race winner of Jake Ham here. Jake, just to make sure you can hear me all right. Jake?
Oh yeah, can you hear me? Hey.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yep, we got you.
Jake Ham, you are back-to-back winner in XSLR on a dirt oval. Talk about that.
I tell you what, it feels good. I thought there was no chance of being able to catch Tyler there at the end, and just that lower run is the only way I can run these cars, and it worked out tonight. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Yes, you were the first car to go from the top side to the low side, and you showed everybody how to run that low side here at Kokomo.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate all the clean. We had a lot of good clean racing up front. I know there was some stuff in the back there. It's going to happen, obviously, being on these short tracks, but there was really good racing up front. I was having fun. Just let me check my blood pressure right now. It's like 130. That's really bad. So I'm gonna have to take a chill pill after this one, but feels really good going in. I thought I was gonna be last, honestly, in this series. 410s are my nemesis, and at the end, it turned out to be pretty good this season. So I'm pretty excited.
You got the job done, and honestly, that was some very good racing to watch. Talk about just the kind of the initial start. You were behind Trenton Kramer. You were battling, couldn't quite get the job done. Was that low side just a little too much to grab at first and then later came to you? Or was the low side that quick and just the high side was just that much quicker?
Yeah, high side definitely at the start. You know, if you could run along the wall, you know, and keep it out of the wall, it was good. But I threw my car in there a couple times, hit the wall, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. And so I just saw that it wasn't as slick, you know, down below. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was a couple times I basically came to a stop in the corner and had to take off again because it was just, it's so delicate, you know, down low. I mean, I don't think I got over 50% throttle, you know, being down low. And it helped keep the car planted a little bit better than being up on the high side and wheeling it out of the corner. So I'm just glad it worked out.
And you had a couple close moments as we're watching the replay of the highlights of your race here. Couple close moments with Andy Kosick, but I think the main story of tonight is the fact that you raced from the B feature and you're an A feature winner here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. One of those things when you win, you know, your feature or your heat, you don't get the opportunity to come back in the consi. And so I think getting a little bit extra time in the car, you know, does help you get back in the rhythm a little bit, you know, going into the main. And so I don't think if I would have had, you know, the B, I don't think I would have had a chance.
Well, that is quite the story. A couple weeks ago, you celebrated your birthday. Now this week, is there something going on here? Do you have another milestone that's going on that's causing back-to-back wins?
Yeah. 40 years old in 2 weeks, you know, that's about it.
Well, is there anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here?
Yeah, obviously Slow Motion Broadcasting, appreciate it. Love to go back, watch this the broadcast all over again. It's fun, you know, I get a hell of a kick out of it. Appreciate all the family and friends that are hopefully around the stream watching. It's fun to put on a good show for them. And then Mike Browning for my paints. And then obviously XSLR for hosting us, and Adam for putting up with all of us and keeping the league together. So much appreciated for everybody.
Well, congratulations, Jake. You are back-to-back winners here for Series 1 of XSLR.
Thanks, Adam.
Jake Ham, our race winner. Let's talk to our second place finisher tonight, of Tyler Brown. Tyler, I just want to make sure you can hear me all right.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you
awesome.
hear me? That's the real question. I've been struggling with this mic.
Yep, I can hear you. Hopefully Josh can as well. But Tyler, you led majority of the laps in that race, but unfortunately did not lead the final one.
Yeah, he was much quicker on that inside line. And I had a couple of wall taps before that last caution trying to get slowed down for those lap cars. And I think that kind of just did it in for me. It was getting pretty hard to handle the last 5 laps. But Jake was quite a bit quicker towards the end on that inside line, which surprised the hell out of me. I tried to run it the last 2 laps and I couldn't hold it.
Well, you were quick time tonight. You won your heat race. Unfortunately, no triple crown for you this evening, but a very good run considering everything that was happening in that one.
Yeah, the first two races of the season were pretty rough, so I'll definitely take second place. I'm okay with that.
Talk about the challenges of this one. You know, this is not the easiest track to drive with a 410 sprint car.
No, it's definitely not. You just got to be a little more patient and let the car turn. And then with how many we had show up tonight, it was I was kind of curious how crazy the track was going to get. I found out towards the end of the 30 laps with 14 cars on it. So it was it was a lot more challenging than I had even expected, because I didn't think we were going to have the show up that we did.
Well, before we get you out of here, anybody you want to thank for the second place finish tonight?
No. Is that selfish?
Well, that's okay. You finished second
Nice.
after I would say a hard fought battle, and next week we head to Eldora. What are your expectations for Eldora?
Oh man, I'm just trying to get through the races right now. I don't have a whole lot of expectation. We're just gonna get out there and run, and hopefully we do well.
All right. Well, congratulations on a second place finish and a good run tonight. We'll see you next week.
Perfect. Thank you.
Tyler Brown, our second place finisher tonight, and I would say a little disappointed for him after leading majority of the laps and did not get the win, but I would say a very good run on one of the more challenging tracks of the year. Josh, what are your thoughts about that race? Very good showing. I was very impressed. We did not hit we didn't hit the amount of cautions I thought we were going to hit. So, no. And thank you to all the drivers who came out. Initially, I was told about 7-8 drivers, which was totally understandable on a challenging track like this. But to have 14 come out to XSLR here tonight in a 410 sprint car on one of the more challenging tracks. Very impressed, very happy about seeing the participation tonight. But Jake Ham, he got the win tonight, and he's a back-to-back winner, Josh.
Yeah, next week, I guess we have one more round, I believe. I believe the next round was Kokomo here, and then we have Eldora, I believe, is the next round. And then we will be changing disciplines into some trucks, I believe, hitting some jumps and stuff, which is my favorite. Honestly, I really can't wait till we get to the trucks, but looks like we do have one more round of the sprint cars here, and see if Jake Ham can't take another one, maybe sweep the whole thing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the final results here of the race here at Kokomo. Jake Ham, your race winner. Tyler Brown in second. Trenton Kramer, your third place finisher. Jason Green in fourth. Adam Thompson will be your fifth place finisher. Ethan Orr in sixth place tonight. Andy Kosick in seventh. Jimmy Howitt in eighth. Chad Cross in ninth. Derek Folk in 10th. Joshua Sushi in 11th. Kevin Irwin 12th. Jason Greider in 13th. And Mike Braun will round out the finishing order tonight. Now, we kind of teased this just a little bit here, Josh, but next week we are going to the ever prestigious, one of the fastest half miles in the country of Eldora Speedway, located in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. And the reason why I say it's the most prestigious, it's one of the crown jewel tracks of all dirt track racing. We've seen races like the Eldora Million in late model racing and sprint cars. You also have the World of Outlaws Kings Royal here every single year, one of the most prestigious World of Outlaw sprint car races of the summer. And it is a great track in a 410 sprint car. You will not see guys lift at all. They'll put their foot to the floor and all of a chance to win here to next week. Again, next Sunday at 8 Eastern. 8:10 is when we go live with racing on track. And again, at Eldora next Sunday, Josh and I will be here for that. And I'm excited. I love Eldora. It's one of my favorite racetracks. It's a racetrack I would love to personally visit. And we are going to be in for quite a show. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lot of participation there. So join us next week. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Any of that support is greatly appreciated here. And let us go ahead here and let's take a look at what's coming up here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Tuesday evenings at 9:10 p.m. Eastern, we got the American Muscle Series. Of course, you may recognize that because there's some big name drivers in that, Josh, and it's been a fun season so far to watch. And then, of course, the next night on Wednesday nights at 8:30 and 9:45 p.m. Eastern, the Ray Esports Club Racing League at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. In Formula V's, some GT4, some TRCs, and some Spec Racer Fords. And then, of course, you have the Sim Racers group at 9:45 p.m. on Wednesday night Eastern time. And then the following evening, we have, the weekend. Forgot we got weekends here. Saturday and Sundays, we have Weekend Warriors. Saturday afternoons at 2:20 p.m. Eastern, the Weekend Warriors in the Formula V. And then on Sundays at 12:45 p.m. Eastern in the Formula Ford 1600s with Ray Esports Racing. And then following that is the Spec Racer Ford series of the Weekend Warriors. And then, of course, to cap off the start of the week, you can watch us here on Slow Motion Broadcasting with our XSLR series here. Again, we are wrapping up the 410 Sprint Car Series next Sunday at Eldora, and then we head to some dirt road with Lucas Oil Pro Ford trucks, which I'm very looking forward to. Then, of course, Series 3, we get the 87 NASCAR cars. Those are
that's gonna be fun.
The no restrictor plates. Those are the type of cars that Dale Earnhardt used to run. And we go to some very awesome tracks, so you don't want to miss that. Then Series 4, which is in June, we go to GT3s around some great tracks as well. So again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and any of that support is always appreciated. We appreciate everybody watching. Josh, thank you for being the man behind the scenes and running the cameras. And of course, thank you to all at home watching, and thank you to all at Slow Motion Broadcasting for what you do. My name is Adam Thompson, and we'll see you next week from Eldora.